मन बंध गए। जान मीरा की न राणा ले सका, जान मीरा की न राणा ले सका। जहर भेजे थे वो अमृत बन गए, जहर भेजे थे वो अमृत बन गए। क्यों? प्रेम के बंधन में मोहन बंध गए। प्रेमियों ने जो बनाया बन गए, प्रेमियों ने जो बनाया बन गए। प्रेम के बंधन में मोहन बंध गए। श्री श्री यशोदा दामोदर भगवान की, श्री दामोदर मास की। परम सौभाग्य पवित्र कार्तिक।
We are extremely fortunate that during this pious month of Kartik, Damodar month, in which Lord Sri Krishna got tied. Dam means the rope and the udar means the stomach or tummy. So the one who is tied with the rope, such Lord is called Damodar, whose stomach has a rope. Have you ever contemplated? Somebody is tied by hand, somebody with their feet, and animals are bound by their nose, but there is one person on this universe who was tied on his stomach. He doesn't have the rope in his hand, feet or nose, but on his stomach. That is why he is called Damodar. So this pious Damodar month, Kartik month, is being celebrated. So yesterday we promised that we will discuss that why or what did Lord Sri Krishna wants to portray by this particular pastime. What is the message he wants to deliver, and why the Lord who is never tied got tied up. So on this, our Acharyas, especially Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, has described beautifully in Sara Darshini. He has put the interpretation. Let me present that interpretation in front of you. It is in Sanskrit, but they are worth enjoying. So Srila Chakravarti Path says or recites, on the pastime of Damodar Leela, Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur describes or says that who is this Damodar? Bhagvata. That means he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. And who is this God? What's the quality? He has Param Apar Aishwarya. So Lord Krishna is Lord himself, and he has unlimited fame and opulences, and nobody can compete him. Satya api, that means still, prema vashyata nibandhanam. That means, although he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagwan himself, yet he got tied. Why? Just because of the love, because he can be controlled only by the love. He, Vishwanath Chakrabarti further adds, Bandhanam idam param chamatkaritva. So we all will be singing the Damodar Leela and will lit the lamp, etc. So this bondage on the Lord is amazing or magical, because anybody in this world bound is not considered auspicious. Someone who is a thief, a robber, and he's present in the prison house, and the more dangerous ones are shackled with metal, etc. So they are all tied up with metal, like shackles throughout the body, and it cannot portray the beautiful. But we all venerate the Lord for the whole month. So Krishna is in the bondage as if he's a prisoner. Similarly, Yashodaji has tied him and with the rope. But to present this element, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur recites that Bandhanam midam paramachakmatkaritva. That means it is a magical bondage. That is why, therefore, bhushanem eva natu dushanam iti aha. So the bondage of Lord Shri Krishna has become an ornament, but not a fault or shortcoming. So if it is on us, it will be considered as our shortcoming. But for Krishna, it has become an ornament, that is bhushanam. And why not? Because Lord Shri Krishna is the Lord who actually bedecks the ornaments himself. So when we wear ornaments, it increases our beauty. But when Krishna wears something, then that things become more beautiful. So although bondage is a shortcoming, but when it is on Krishna himself, it has turned into an jewel. Further, Sri Chakravarti Pad adds, he tells about the qualities of Krishna. So how is Lord Shri Krishna? Swa Krishna. He is Atma Ram. So he is Atma Ram. So do you all know what does Atma Ram means? So it means the one who is satisfied within himself. He is filled with bliss and ecstasy, and he is not dependent on others for his happiness and ecstasy. So Krishna is Atmaram. So for us to be happy or satisfied, we are dependent on other things from the material universe. But Krishna doesn't require anything from the outside because he is Atmaram. But in this Damodar Leela, what is portrayed? Swasya Atmaram api bubukshaya. But still he got a desire in his heart. Kunti Maharani describes Lord Sri Krishna as Atmaram in her venerating prayers of the Lord, but still that Atmaram still had this desire in his heart, or this desire manifested in his heart. Further, it is said, Ishopnishad says that Krishna is complete in himself. Purna idam, purnam idam. And although he is complete in himself, yet he was unsatisfied. Atriptaya means unsatisfied, and it developed into anger. So although he is Atmaram, yet he got this lust or desire, and after that he got angry. And further he adds, Shuddha Sattva Swarupatva Epi. So although he resides in the Shuddha Sattva, still he became angry. So he is not bound by the three modes of material nature. He is above all these three modes of material nature. So there is no question of his being angry. Yet he got angry. So if I want to tell you something or want to share something with you, in Bhagvat Gita, Krishna says that there are three ways to go to the hellish planets. So there are three freeways which direct us to the hellish planets. And therefore, we should forego all these three paths. So Arjuna asked that what are these three paths or three things that we need to forego? Then Krishna replies in Bhagavad Gita that there are three things that take us to the hell. First is Kama, Krodha and Lobh. That is lust, anger and greed. Therefore, we should forego all of them. So what does Lord Shri Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita? That we need to forego all these three because these are the gateway to the hellish planets. But in the Damodar pastime of the Lord, what does he do? He says that we should not desire, but here he got this desire to drink the milk from her mother's, from her mother, and when he did not got it from his mother, he got angry. So the Krishna who counsels that we should get rid of these three things, but all these three things he did on the day of Diwali. So what does Krishna portrays by doing this pastime? Why was this pastime performed when he himself is not following the principle that he has laid upon? So the answer is mentioned by Shukdev Goswami. But Chakravarti Pad has written very beautifully. He says further, Lord Shri Krishna resides in the eternal abode, that is Golok Dham. And how is that eternal abode of the Lord. That is, Brahmaji describes it as Chintamani Kalpavriksha, which has, so his house doesn't have any ordinary trees. He has the desire tree, that is the Kalpavriksha, and whatever you imagine, it will be there in front of your eyes. The roads are bedecked with jewels and precious stones. So what does Chakravarti Pad say? So he says that the goddess of fortune, thousands of goddesses of fortune stand to serve him day and night to get an opportunity to serve the Lord. So in the kingdom where Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, serves him, such Lord Shri Krishna steals. What kind of Lord is he? He has everything. He is the master of the goddess of fortune, yet he steals. And what does he steal? The butter and the buttermilk. Damodar Leela is amazing. So, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is sharing these amazing points.
से महाकाल डरता है, जिस
So, the death personified, that is Mahakal, is also scared of the Lord, which is told by Shukdev Goswami. He says that forget about Krishna himself, but even if someone takes his name, so we are in this material universe stuck here, but if we take the holy names of the Lord, even with compulsion, and immediately he crosses this ocean of material existence.
भयम, क्योंकि भगवान के नाम से स्वयं महाकाल यमराज भी कांपता है.
Because death personified also is scared of the Lord. Even the death is afraid of the name of the Lord. So his name has so much potency. And Krishna has a counsel, it is Panchajanya. So what is the potency of this Panchajanya counsel of the Lord? When he puts air in that counsel, then the soldiers of the enemy die of heart attack. They don't even have to, he don't even have to fight, but just the sound or vibration of his counsel, the soldiers die. The soldiers die, and so such Lord Shri Krishna in this Damodar pastime is scared of Yashoda Maya and running. It is amazing. So the death personified and are scared. He is scared of Yashodamai. This is the amazing pastime of the Lord. Further, he adds,
भगवान श्री कृष्ण की स्पीड कितनी है?
So what is the speed of Lord Shri Krishna? You might be aware. He is faster than the speed of the mind. And What is the proof? Because the whole great sages and saints who perform so much austerity, still Krishna doesn't comes to their heart or mind because he runs with such a great speed. But such Lord Shri Krishna was forcefully picked by Yashoda Maya. And further, he adds Anandamayatva pe. So we all are aware that Krishna is bliss himself. So he is the bliss personified, but in this pastime, Dukh Rodhanena, that although he is bliss personified, but yet here he is crying in this pastime. All his philosophical points became heavier in this pastime. Sometimes it so happens that while we drive, we follow the rules and regulations, but sometimes in the time of emergency, get little outlined. So Krishna has crossed all his principles in this pastime. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Krishna is Sarvavyapak, that is, he is omnipresent and he can be in numerous places at the same time, and by his external potency, that is Maya, he bounds all the living entities. Yet this Krishna is bounded by Yashovati Maya. So he himself is the Lord and he is filled with opulence. And although he is above the material modes of nature, yet he became angry and he got the lust and anger, and he became scared of Yashomati. The Krishna who is the master of the goddess of fortune, yet he steals. So the question remains that what does Krishna wants to portray in this pastime? So one or two things can be out of place, but whatever Krishna has presented in Bhagvat Gita, he has broken every principle here in this pastime. So Sri Shukdev Goswami replies,
एवं संदर्शिता यंग हरिणा भृत्यवशता एवं संदर्शिता यंग हरिणां भृत्यवशता स्ववशेनापि कृष्णेन स्ववशेनापि कृष्णेन यस्येदं सेश्वरं वशे यस्य इदं विश्वम, इस विश्व में
idam vishwam, that is in this material universe, Sa Ishwaram, that is whoever are the controllers, that is the Ishvara, who are controlled by the Lord Krishna himself. So he is the controller of all the controllers, that is all the demigods are controlled by the Lord, yet he was controlled by Yashomati Maya. And what does he wants to portray by this? He says, Evam Sandarshita Anga. That by this pastime, he wants to show perfectly, he wants to perfectly portray what he wants to show. And what is the message he wants to give? That I want to portray to you that Harina Bhritya Vashyata. That means the Lord Hari can be controlled by his devotees. So this is the most important bottom line in this verse. So by the pastime of the Lord, he wants to show a proof that I am the Lord himself. I'm the Supreme Personality of Godhead, yet I become controlled by my devotees. Although I control everyone, yet I am controlled by my devotees. And it's not by force, but due to the love towards them. I get controlled by them. So those who listen to my pastimes, who chant my holy names, I give them myself to them. And I give it to them very pleasingly. Why? Because people who listen to my pastime, who chant, who perform Sankirtan, or who performs Ekadashi and Mangla and does so much sacrifice, and after that also he doesn't expect anything from us. After performing devotional service, you can ask me something and I can give it to them, but after performing this unallied devotional service towards me, yet he doesn't ask me anything. So I have nothing left to give to them. That is why I give them myself and get controlled by them. Because the devotee doesn't ask anything. Because if a devotee asks, then he could have given it and be relieved. But when a devotee doesn't ask anything, then the Lord has nothing to give. So the Lord gives himself to the devotee pleasingly. So through this Damodar pastime, Hari means Lord Shri Krishna wants to portray Bhritya Vashyata. Bhritya means devotee or servitor, and Vash means controlled. So I become controlled by the devotees. And what is his? And what is his emotion? That although the devotee doesn't want to control the Lord, we should always remember that he doesn't want to control the Lord. And a lover can never expects to control their beloved, because if they want to control them, then where is the love there? But here it is mentioned swa vashe apin. It means that he himself gets tied or bound by the love of the devotee. So the Kartik month has started, and day and night this we should remember and contemplate on the pastimes of Lord Damodar, lit the lamp, etc. So before we proceed. So we can either rise, and if you have a lamp, then we will be singing the Damodar Ashtakam. You can offer the lamp to Lord Damodar. So let's sing Damodar Ashtakam.
जय गोपी चित चोर प्रभु जय गोपी चित चोर प्रभु जय जय माखन चोर जय जय माखन चोर श्री कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की श्री दामोदर मास की जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की उपस्थित
Hare Krishna, I welcome
भगवत कथा अनुरागी
all the loving devotees of Shrimad Bhagavatam, the attending devotees. I want to extend my heartfelt welcome to the senior devotees of the International Society of Krishna Consciousness. I also extend my welcome to all who have gathered here through the medium of Facebook, YouTube, etc., in huge numbers from all the parts of the world, all the listeners, and with their loving heart, the organizers of this beautiful Bhagvatam Katha, the denizens of Australia, Melbourne, the whole Deo family. So we should remember their pious ancestors, Sri Mahadev Ji, Srimati Suraj Kuwar Ji, Sri Michael Harishchandra Ji. So in reverie of these ancestors, we should welcome the host Srimati Savitri Devi Ji, Nalini Deo Mata Ji, Nitesh Ji, Subhashini Dev Ji, Simran Ratan Akash Dev, Manav Dev, and Shri Radha Giridhari Ji. So I welcome you all on the second day of this Bhagavatam Katha. I welcome you all once more, and please accept our humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Radhe Shyam.
सब मैचिंग हो रहा है आपने कभी सोचा
Have you ever contemplated that whether the clothes are decided by the backdrop or vice versa? It's nothing but a coincidence. Lord arranges everything. So this pious month of Kartik or Damodar month is going on, and today we are about to discuss the manifestation of the Shyamkund, Radhakund, and the pastime of Ambarish. So Aminarayan Prabhu has been telling in so many days. So the past topic of this katha is essence of Damodar pastimes. So from A, we are to speak on appearance day of Radhakund and Shyamkund and the pastimes of Ambarish Dev. So you all are seeing the backdrop. There is Shyamkund and Radhakund.
So राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड बड़ी पावन पवित्र स्थान है.
So these Radhakund and Shyamkund are very pious places. Shripad Rup Goswami,
गौड़ीय भक्त गौड़ीय आचार्य हुए,
who is the Acharya of in our disciplic succession, and of we all are performing our devotional service on his principles. So such Rup Goswami was asked to perform devotional services towards the Lord, which is the best place.
भजन करने का सर्वश्रेष्ठ स्थान कौन सा? तब श्रीपाद रूप गोस्वामी
Then Shripad Rup Goswami replies in Nectar of Instruction text 9.
भजन का सबसे उत्तम स्थान बताते हुए
He says the most pious place to perform devotional service towards the Lord.
Sorry, Melbourne, Australia, शिकागो. इधर सब दुनिया से बैठे हैं. वॉशिंगटन डीसी. भजन करने का सबसे उत्तम स्थान
Which is the best place to perform unalloyed devotional service towards the Lord? The Rup Goswami mentions in the verse in front of your screen from Nectar of Instruction, verse 9.
जनितो वरा मधुपुरी तत्रापि रासोत्सवाद वृन्दारण्यमुदार पाणि रमणा तत्रापि गोवर्धन राधा कुंड मिहापि गोकुलपते प्रेमामृता प्लावनात् कुर्यादस्य विराजतो गिरितटे सेवां विवेकिनकः सेवां विवेकिनकः. श्रीपाद रूप गोस्वामी कहता है कि भजन करने
Sripad Rup Goswami says that the best place to perform devotional service towards the Lord is Vaikuntha Loka, that is the eternal abode of the Lord. So you might say that then it's not possible for us in this life because we can go to the eternal abode of the Lord after death. So he says that the appropriate place to stay is first and foremost Vaikuntha. But if you want to go to a better place than that, Vara means better or to be chosen, and that is Madhupuri. Madhurpuri means Mathura. So there can be a great elaboration on this. So first of all, why is Vaikuntha the first and foremost? Because there is no envy in Vaikuntha and there is no cruel quarrel and hypocrisy, etc. So there are no distress in Vaikuntha. So where there is no distress is Vaikuntha, and it is the best place to perform devotional service to the Lord. But what is better than Vaikuntha? It is Madhupuri, Mathura. That is why. Why? Because Krishna manifested in Mathurapuri. So although Vaikuntha is good, but Mathura is even better. But there is something better than Mathura as well. So Tatra Api means something better than Mathura is Ratso Utsavad. That is the place where the Ras Leela or pastime of the Lord was performed. And where was it done? It was done in Vrindavan, where the Ras Leela was performed is better even than Mathura, because Lord Sri Krishna enjoyed the ecstatic love with the gopis. So from Vaikuntha is better Mathura, and from Mathura it's better to be in Vrindavan. But what is better than this Vrindavan as well? So the Lord who carried the hill on his fingertip, that is Govardhan, is far better place than even than Vrindavan, because the Lord lifted it himself.
बस फाइनल हो गया कि अब कुछ बाकी? बोले रुको
So
रुको.
is there anything else apart from that? So it is said that even better than Govardhan, the topmost place to perform another devotional service towards the Lord is mentioned in the third line.
मिहापि गोकुलपते प्रेमामृता प्लावनात् कुर्यादस्य विराजतो गिरितटे सेवां विवेकिनः कर. गोवर्धन से भी उत्तम है उस गोवर्धन की तलेटी में बसा हुआ.
So even then Govardhan is better the Radha Kund. So the pastime of Radha Kund and Shyam Kund that we are going to hear today is the best place to reside. And Rup Goswami kept his pen aside because he said that there is nothing better than Radha Kund, and he further adds an annotation or comment that this Radha Kund, a person who is wise, he will, if he is intelligent and wise, then he will definitely take the water of Radha Kund and take the shelter of Radha Kund and perform another devotional service towards the Lord, because that is the best place to perform loving devotional service towards the Lord, that is bhakti. So Rup Goswami has sung the glories of Sri Radha Kund. So how did Sri Radha Kund manifest it? As we are going to discuss the appearance of Radha Kund and Shyama Kund. But to listen about it, I need to tell you something that is practical. Shall I tell you with open mind? I hope you won't get hurt. I will present the verse, then you can understand that it is written by Vedvyas ji. And what has he written? We should listen carefully. Sarva aparad krit api. So we might do any kind of fault, like intoxication, or curse somebody or abuse somebody, no problem. So a person who has done any kind of offense, or even if you have done all kinds of offenses, so no matter how much sinful you may be, but Hari Ashray, so it could be the shelter of the holy names of the Lord or the pastimes of the Lord. So no matter how much sinful you are or you might have sinned, but if you take the shelter of the pastimes of the Lord or chanting of the holy names, then you will be atoned of this, of these sins. But if you take the shelter of the Lord, the holy name or pastimes, then no matter whatever sin you have done or you might have sinned, muchyate means you will be relieved or your sins will be atoned. But I want to warn you all, this in the second line of this verse is the essence of this verse which we need to understand. In the second line it is said, Hare aparadhana yah kuryad. But if you sin sitting in the while listening to the pastimes of the Lord, if you sit in the Bhagvatam Katha and you perform offense, then you will be considered no better than an animal. Dvipada shalam. So if you sin or do offense while sitting in or listening to the Bhagavatam Katha, you will be considered as two-legged animal. So while we are listening to the pastimes of the Lord, we should always sit sincerely and avoid performing any offensive. Otherwise, we should not listen at all. When we have a position or situation, then only we should listen to the pastimes of the Lord. So no matter how much or whatever sins you have done, but if you listen or take the shelter of the Lord's name, form or pastime, then you will be relieved or atoned of the sins. But if you perform offenses while listening to the pastimes of the Lord, then you will be considered as two-legged animals. So there might be a question that while we are sitting in the Bhagavatam Katha, what is considered to be the offense? We are not even aware of what is right and wrong. So how are we going to avoid those things? So further, this is the verse from Padma Puran. It is said in the next verse, that what is the offense.
कहते हैं जब आप
It
भागवत
is
कथा
said,
में बैठे हो
when you sit
या भगवान के
listening
मंदिर
to
में
the
बैठे
pastimes
हो,
of the
हरि
Lord,
नाम जप करने, ये सब
or
क्या
you're
अपराध है?
chanting the holy names
लेकिन
of
हम
the
लोग
Lord, or
कथा
you're
सुन
at the
रहे हैं,
temple.
इसलिए मैं कथा को
So
प्रधान
as
कर
we
रहा
are
हूँ।
listening to the pastimes of the Lord, so,
तो
or
हरि
the
कथा
Katha,
सुनते समय
so I'm
पहला
focusing on
अपराध
the same.
कौन सा है?
So the first and foremost offense is
च अग्रे। हरि कथा सुनते समय
So while
पाद
listening to the
प्रसारण
Bhagavatam,
अग्रे,
Pada
मतलब अपने
Prasaranchan
पाँव को आगे
Agne,
करके
that
बैठना।
means to keep our legs
यहाँ तो सब लोग
forward.
देखिए, मेरा सौभाग्य तो देखो, सब
I
कितने
am so
बैठे,
fortunate that
फिजिकल कथा में भी लोग नहीं बैठते,
everybody is
ये अमृत
sitting,
चर्चा में ऑनलाइन में सब बैठते हैं।
even in
कितनी
online, they're
sincerity,
sitting with so much
क्योंकि आप
sincerity.
सब लोग ज्ञानी हो, जानते हो ना। अब देखिए, पाद प्रसार के बैठना और च अग्रे, किसके अग्रे? हरि
And
कथा के
Cha
अग्रे,
Agre,
हरि के अग्रे।
that means to keep your
अपना
legs
पाँव
in
फैलाकर
front
बैठना,
of the Lord
ये सीधे भगवान विष्णु का, कृष्ण
is
का
an
अपराध है।
offense towards the Lord.
श्लोक समझिए, श्लोक देखिए। और दूसरा है तथा,
And the second is
पर्यंक
Tatha
बंधनम।
Parayanka Bandhanam.
और दूसरा अपराध, कथा सुनते समय
While
पाँव
listening
के
to the
ऊपर
pastimes
पाँव
of the Lord,
चढ़ाकर बैठना।
to sit
पर्यंक बंधनम,
cross-legged
પગની આંટી કરીને બેસવું, બંધનમ મને આંટી, પાँવ के ऊपर पाँव चढ़ा के बैठना।
is also an offense.
तो पाद प्रसराणम, पाँव को फैलाकर बैठना,
So we
ये
should
भी बड़ा
not
अपराध है। आप कहोगे प्रभु ये आपने
keep
पहले क्यों नहीं
our
सुनाया? पहले सुना था तो इतने लोग आते कथा
legs.
सुनने के लिए। पहले थोड़ा आदत लग जाए
So
और फिर धीरे
you
धीरे
might say
पहले
that
पहले तो,
why I haven't told
लेकिन
this
अब तो
earlier,
आप
but
समझने
had I
लगे हो,
told,
सीखने
then
लगे हो,
there
इसलिए
might not be
पहले
so
ये
many
नियमों
listeners
को
now.
फॉलो करे तो
So
बहुत
now
अच्छा,
that
और
you
लाभ होगा।
understand, I'm
तो
delving
पाद प्रसार
deeper.
के नहीं बैठना चाहिए। दूसरा, पर्यंक बंधनम, पाँव के ऊपर पाँव चढ़ाकर नहीं बैठना चाहिए।
So we should not sit cross-legged,
फिर तीसरा,
and we should not put our feet forward. And then the third is Shayanam, that is,
सीधा समझ में आता है ना, शयनम
we
ये
should
अपराध
not
है।
be lying down while listening to the Shrimad Bhagavatam.
सती कथा में सो गई,
So Sati slept
त्यागना पड़ा, शिव जी ने
during the
सती को,
pastime. She
कथा में सोना
had to let go of
और
her
मैं
life,
सीधा कहूं,
and Lord
कथा में
Shiva
सोना, प्राण त्यागना पड़ेगा, दंड मिलेगा, ये सब और की बात है।
left her.
कथा में सो गया, कथा
So if
उसकी
someone
गंभीर
sleeps
होने
in
से तो
the
वो चूक ही गया
Bhagavatam,
ना।
so
जो रस
he
बह रहा है, जो भाव बह रहा है, जो इतने
got
सुंदर
bereft of
चर्चा हो रही है, वो तो
all
चूक ही
those
गया।
beautiful
आगे
discussions
जो होगा सो
and
होगा,
jewels.
लेकिन धारावाहिक जो धारा बह रही थी वो तो निकल गई, वो फिर दोबारा नहीं आनी।
He lost the flow.
सो पहला अपराध है पांव फैलाकर बैठना, दूसरा पांव के ऊपर पांव चढ़ाकर बैठना, फिर तीसरा है शयनम। चौथा बताऊं?
And the fourth is
ऑनलाइन के श्रोता कम न हो जाए, भक्षणम, भोजन
Bhakshanam,
करना।
to eat
कथा सुनते समय
while listening to the
भक्षण,
pastimes of the
भक्षण
Lord
भोजन करना भी एक अपराध है।
is also a sin.
और आगे बताए,
And
उच्च
further,
भाषा,
it is said, Uchya
जब हम
Bhasha,
भगवान के सामने, कथा के सामने
when we are in
बैठते
front
हैं
of the Lord
तो
or in
उच्च
the front
भाषा,
of the
जोर जोर से बोलना भी एक
Patham,
अपराध
to
है,
speak loudly also is
भगवान
a
का
sin.
अपराध है।
It is a sin against the Lord.
इसलिए जब भी हम कथा पर
Therefore,
बैठते हैं,
whenever we
तो हमें
sit
तो जोर जोर से नहीं बोलना चाहिए।
in the
बच्चों को भी
Bhagavatam
लेकर
Katha,
जाते हैं, उसे भी ट्रेनिंग देकर
we
जाना
should
चाहिए।
train our kids
नहीं तो
also
बच्चों का
that we should
अपराध
not
बच्चों का
speak
नहीं, वो
loudly,
पेरेंट्स का ही माना जाता है।
because the
सो उच्च
fault
भाषा,
of the kids will be
लेकिन बच्चे
considered the
ऑनलाइन में
fault
कोई
of the
चिंता नहीं, फिजिकल में जब जाते हैं ना तो फिर
parents.
बहुत
So
मतलब
when I go to the
गड़बड़ होती है,
physical
वो
Katha,
डिस्टर्बेंस।
then there is so
इससे
much,
भगवत अपराध, भागवत अपराध
there's so many
और
offenses,
कथा सुनने बोलने वाले का भी अपराध।
and
और
it is
फिर
an
आगे
offense
कहते हैं
towards the
मिथ्या
Lord
प्रजल्प।
and the speaker as well.
भगवत कथा में मिथ्या प्रजल्प, मिथ्या प्रजल्प किसे कहते
And
हैं? आज
he says
फलाने ने
Mithya
सफेद
Jalpo.
साड़ी, लाल साड़ी क्यों
So
पहनी है?
why this
हैं?
person was wearing
आज
red
इसने
sari?
पीला क्यों पहना है?
Why
आज इसने
she's
हरा क्यों
wearing
पहना है?
yellow or
ये इसे
green,
कहते हैं
etc. So
मिथ्या
this is
प्रजल्प।
Mithya Prajal, that is unnecessary talk.
सो मिथ्या प्रजल्प करना ये भी कथा का अपराध है।
is also an offense towards the
अब
pastimes of the Lord.
ये केवल
Now,
कहने सुनने की बातें नहीं है।
it is not
अब
about
देखिए,
listening and
पाद
speaking
प्रसरणम च अग्रे, भगवान के सामने, भागवत के सामने पांव फैलाकर बैठना
to
बहुत बड़ा
keep
अपराध
our
है।
legs in front of the Lord is a great
कई
offense.
वर्ष, कई युग पूर्व, अब ये
Some
केवल
yugas
ये
before,
सिद्धांत फिलोसॉफी है।
so
इसको
this is the
समझने के लिए मैं
philosophy,
आपको एक
and
कथा
to understand this, I will share the pastime.
सिद्धांत को तो दृष्टांत से पूर्ति की जाती है। सो कई युग युग पूर्व
So,
देवगुरु बृहस्पति का एक
few
शिष्य था
yugas back,
जिसका नाम
the
था वरतंतु। क्या नाम
spiritual
था?
master Brihaspati had a disciple whose name
वो
was
ब्राह्मण
Varatantu,
था।
who
ये
was a
ऋषि मुनि
Brahmana
था।
by birth,
जन्मना जायते शूद्र संस्कारात द्विज उच्यते, द्विजाति संस्कार यज्ञोपवीत जन,
and
ऐसा सब कुछ हो चुका था।
he had
अर्थात दीक्षा हो चुकी थी,
been initiated
दीक्षित हो गया
twice.
था, डिवोटी था,
So he was a devotee of
और
the Lord,
बृहस्पति का शिष्य था।
and he was the
एक दिन
disciple of
बृहस्पति, देवगुरु
Brihaspati,
बृहस्पति भगवत कथा सुना
the
रहे थे,
spiritual master of the demigods. So he
और ये
was
वरतंतु नाम का
sharing
उसका
the
शिष्य
pastimes,
कथा सुनते
and
सुनते
this
अपना पांव
Varatantu
फैलाकर बैठ
disciple
गया, जो अभी चर्चा
spread
हुई
his
हमारी।
legs.
पाद प्रसारश्च अग्रे,
What we discussed
पाद
right now,
प्रसार कर
Pada
नहीं बैठना
Prasaran
चाहिए था, ये
Chagre,
बेचारा बैठ गया।
but he did the
अब जो
same
भी ये पांव में
offense,
दर्द हुआ होगा
and no
या जो
matter
भी
he
हुआ
might
होगा
have
वो जाने,
felt some pain in his
लेकिन
leg
वरतंतु
or
बृहस्पति
so,
के सामने पांव
but
फैलाकर बैठा।
he put
और
his
उसकी
leg
आंखें
forward in
बंद करके
front
बैठ
of
गई थी। जब
the
आंखें खोलकर
Brihaspati,
देखा तो ये
and
सब
when
होता,
he
पांव
saw
फैलाकर बैठा है,
this,
भागवत
that
के सामने,
he
भगवान के सामने,
has
गुरु
put
के
his
सामने
leg
पांव
forward
फैलाकर
in
बैठा है।
front of the Lord and his
उसी
spiritual
समय
master as well.
बृहस्पति को क्रोध आ गया,
At the same time,
और क्रोध आकर
Brihaspati lost
कहा
his
कि तू मेरे आगे,
control
तू
and he
भागवत
became
के
angry,
आगे, भगवान
and he
के
said that
आगे
you
बिल्कुल
have
बैल की तरह, सांड की तरह
you're
पांव
standing
फैलाकर
like
बैठा
a
है। जा,
bull
मैं तुझे श्राप देता हूँ, तू सांड हो
in
जा,
front of the
बैल हो जा।
Bhagavatam. I curse you that you become a buffalo
तुरंत
or a
बृहस्पति
bull.
का श्राप लगा,
And
और वो
immediately
ब्राह्मण,
he,
उच्च कुल का
the
होने वाला
Brahman who was
वरतंतु,
from the great
सीधा पृथ्वी
family,
लोक पर एक सांड, बुल, बैल बनकर प्रकट हो
turned
गया।
into a bull and manifested on this material earth.
फिर उस बैल की संगति
And
असुरों के साथ हो गई, तो उसके
he
अंदर आसुरी
got
गुण
associated with demons,
धीरे धीरे
and
धीरे समय
he
बीता।
developed demonic
एक समय
qualities,
के
and
बाद
gradually the
कंस
time elapsed.
दिग्विजय करने के लिए पूरी दुनिया में भ्रमण
And,
कर रहा था, और कंस सबसे युद्ध करता
and
था,
Kans was
सबको हराकर अपने वश में कर लेता था।
trying to win
ये
the
जितने
whole
भी असुर,
universe, and
तृणावर्तकासुर,
by
बकासुर, कुबलियापीड़, ये सबसे कंस
by
की मुठभेड़
defeating
होती थी,
them, he was taking
और
control of
सबको
their
कंस हरा
kingdoms,
दिया था,
etc.
और अपने कारागार में बंद किया था। जब भी मुझे
He
आवश्यकता
has
पड़े
prisoned
मैं
all
तुमको
those
बुलाऊंगा,
kings,
तुम्हें मेरा काम
and
करना
whenever
पड़ेगा।
I need, you will have to work for me.
इस
That
नियम
was
से
his
उन सबको
condition.
छोड़ रखा था
And on this condition, he
कि
has left
दिग्विजय के
them.
समय कंस की उस बुल के साथ, सांड के
So,
साथ मुठभेड़ हुई,
Kans
और
had a
कंस ने
fight
उस
with
सांड को
this
हरा दिया।
bull, and he
तो
defeated this
कंस ने कहा,
bull,
कोई बात नहीं, मैं तुझे
and he
अभी
said
छोड़
that
रहा
no
हूँ,
matter,
लेकिन जब
I am
मुझे
leaving you
जरूरत
right
पड़े
now, but
मैं
whenever
तुझे
I need
बुलाऊंगा,
you,
तू मेरे पास आ जाना।
I will call you and you have to come.
धीरे धीरे और समय बीता,
So gradually
भगवान
the
श्री
time
कृष्ण का
elapsed,
जन्म हुआ,
and Lord Shri Krishna
और फिर
manifested,
दुर्गा माता ने कहा कि तुझे मारने
and
वाला
Devi
जन्म ले
Durga
चुका
said
है।
that your killer
तब
has
कंस
already taken the birth. Then
कृष्ण को
Kans,
मारने के लिए
to kill
अनेकों
Lord
असुरों
Shri
को भेजा,
Krishna, has sent so many demons
और
for
उस
the
समय
same.
कंस ने
And
इस सांड को
at
बुलाया,
that time, he called
जिसका
this
नाम था
bull,
अरिष्ठासुर,
whose name was
इसका
Arishtasur,
नाम था अरिष्ठ असुर। बहुत मोटा तगड़ा
and he was
हट्टा कट्टा बैल
quite
था।
healthy bull.
कंस ने कहा, जाओ
And Kans
और उस
ordered
कालिया
him that
कृष्ण को
go
मार कर आओ।
and you kill that Shyam Krishna.
भगवान श्री कृष्ण अपने सखाओं के साथ विचरण कर रहे थे ब्रज वृंदावन में,
So
और
Lord Shri
बड़ा
Krishna
तगड़ा
was
बैल, वह अरिष्ठ नाम का
with
असुर,
his friends Gopis,
विचरण करते हुए कृष्ण
and
के
this
पास आया।
bull came
ब्रह्म
to
वैवर्त,
him.
श्रीमद् भागवत,
It's
अनेक
mentioned in
ग्रंथों में
Brahma
लिखा है,
Vaivarta and Shrimad Bhagavatam as
धरती
well,
को कंपाते हुए
that he made the
अरिष्टासुर
earth
अपनी पूंछ
shiver,
को ऊपर खड़ी करते हुए, अपने सिंग को आगे
and
करते हुए
putting
सारे
his
खेतों
he was destroying the farmlands and destroying the trees.
तेज गति से दौड़ते हुए, चिल्लाते हुए, आंखें
And in
फाड़ते हुए
huge speed
उस ब्रज
and
गोकुल
with
वृंदावन
open
में प्रवेश
eyes,
किया।
he entered Gokul
और इस
Vrindavan.
भयंकर सांड को देखकर, अरिष्टासुर को देखकर
And
ब्रज की
when
गोप गोपियां भयभीत हो गई और डर
it
के
was
मारे भागने लगी।
observed by the associates of
बाकी
the Lord,
अन्य
that is
जो छोटे-छोटे
Gopiyas,
पशु-पक्षी थे वो भी वहां
they
से
started running, and the
सांड को
animals
देखकर
also
भाग
started running.
सारे छोटे-छोटे निर्दोष पशु-पक्षी
So
ब्रजवासी कृष्ण के
all
शरण
these
में आए।
innocent
कृष्ण कृष्ण
living
कहते
entities
रहे।
came to the
भक्तानाम
shelter of the
प्रियंकर
Lord.
हे महाबाहो हे कृष्ण, ये कोई भयंकर सांड आया है,
Said
लगता
that
है कि पूरे
there is
ब्रज को
such a
नष्ट कर
great
देगा।
bull who is
कृपा
here to
करो रक्षा
destroy the
करो।
whole Braj, so please
इतना
protect
कहना
us.
था,
So
कृष्ण
as this
तैयार हो गया।
requested, Krishna agreed.
कृष्ण ने कहा सब लोग पीछे हो जाओ।
He said
तो
that
भगवान
you
श्री
all
कृष्ण आगे और कृष्ण ने उस अरिष्टासुर को
be
ललकारा।
at one side, and
बोले
he
पहले तो मेरे साथ युद्ध
addressed
करो।
this
और अरिष्टासुर
Arishtasur,
अपनी आंख लाल लाल करते हुए,
and this
सिंह
Arishtasur
वाणी
with his
करते
red
हुए जोर
eyes,
से धरती को खरोदता हुआ
he,
कृष्ण
he
की ओर झपटा।
scratched the earth and attacked on Lord
कृष्ण
Shri
भी तो
Krishna.
कृष्ण थे ना, वो सिंह
So
आगे
Krishna
करके आया तो कृष्ण ने उस अरिष्टासुर के
is Krishna.
दोनों सिंह को पकड़
He
लिया
took control of his
और
horns
दोनों सिंह ऐसे पकड़ते हुए 15
and
पांव पीछे फेंक दिया,
and
15
he
कदम
threw
पीछे
him
ऐसे धकेल दिया। अब
15
किसी बुल
steps
को, किसी
beyond.
सांड को ऐसे पीछे धकेलो ना, तब तो उसका पारा और आउट हो
And
जाएगा।
when we
अरे अरिष्टासुर क्रोध में
drag the
लंबी
bull
लंबी
like
सांस
this, he
रोकता
becomes more
हुआ,
angry.
मुख से
So
अग्नि
then
निकालता हुआ
Arishtasur became more
पसीने से
angry.
लथपथ कृष्ण की
He
ओर
was
फिर से
sweating
झपटा।
and he attacked Lord Shri Krishna
और
again.
भगवान श्री कृष्ण उस
And
अरिष्टासुर के सिंह
Lord
को
Shri
पकड़कर
Krishna
उसे उठाकर जमीन के ऊपर
holded
फेंका
his horns
और
and
उस
threw
अरिष्टासुर
him
का
on
एक
the
सिंग
earth.
निकाल दिया।
And he took one of his
सिंग,
horns,
सिंगड़ा जानते हैं ना, सिंग, उस अरिष्टासुर का सिंग निकालकर उसके सिंग से उसी
and
को मारा।
with his horn he
हाँ तो बहुत खराब
started
किया।
to beat him from
कृष्ण
his
ने
own
कभी
horn.
भी कोई अस्त्र शस्त्र का इस्तेमाल नहीं किया, उसके पास
Krishna
कोई
has
अस्त्र
never
शस्त्र
used
नहीं
any
था।
weapon because he always have
लेकिन उस
a
अरिष्टासुर का
flute,
सिंग निकाला और
but
उसके
he
सिंग
took
से उसको
the
मारा।
horn of Arishtasur
शास्त्र में लिखा
and
है
he started
कि
beating him
कृष्ण
with the
ने
same.
उस सिंग से अरिष्टासुर को कितना मारा, कैसे मारा। बोले आजकल तो वॉशिंग मशीन का जमाना है, एक ऐसा
So
जमाना हुआ करता
today
था,
we all
माताएं
use
लोग
washing
अपने हाथों से
machine,
कपड़े धोने
but
लगती थी।
earlier people, women used to wash the
और
clothes
उसमें
with their
रात
own
को
hands,
पति के साथ भयंकर झगड़ा
and
हुआ
if
है
they had a
और
fight
सुबह
with
सुबह
their
उस पति
husband,
का शर्ट और
and
पैंट
the
धोते
morning
धोते
they
समय हाथ में आया है
have to wash the
और
clothes of
रात
their
को
husband.
पति की खुन्नस उसके कपड़ों
So
के
the
ऊपर जब
frustration
निकलती है और माता वो धोकर
is taken
जब
out on
देखती
his
है
clothes.
उस कपड़ों को, कपड़ा रोता है कि भाई मुझे छोड़
The
दो,
clo-
मैंने क्या गलती की यार।
clothes cry that please leave me. What
कृष्ण ने
offense I have done?
अरिष्टासुर के सिंग से उसी को इतना पीटा, इतना पीटा
So he
कि
was beaten with
अरिष्टासुर
his
के
own
मुख से
horn
खून निकलने लगा,
in such a manner that he
तड़पने लगा।
started bleeding,
कहते हैं अरिष्टासुर के प्राण निकल गए
and it is said
और
that
कृष्ण
he
के सामने
left his body
ब्राह्मण शरीर प्राप्त किया।
and he
कृष्ण
got the
के
body
सामने
of a
प्राण होकर
Brahmana,
हतारी गति दायक भगवान श्री कृष्ण ने उनका उद्धार कर दिया।
and he was liberated by Lord
तो
Shri
ऐसे
Krishna.
भगवान हरि,
So
भगवान श्री
such Lord
कृष्ण ने
Hari, Lord
अरिष्टासुर
Shri
का उद्धार
Krishna,
किया।
Arishtasur
लेकिन फिर से
was
आपको
liberated
याद
by
दिला
such
दूं
Lord. But I
कि
just need to remind
अरिष्टासुर
you one
ब्राह्मण
more
था।
thing, that he was a Brahmana,
ब्राह्मण बैल कैसे बना?
and how he turned
भगवान के
into
सामने,
a bull,
भागवत के सामने
because in
पाद
front of
पसारा
Bhagavatam
रहा
or the
था,
Lord,
अपने चरण को
he
प्रसाद
had
करता
his
जाता,
legs
शयनम भोजनम,
in front of the
वहां
Lord.
सोना खाना पीना चलता
During the
रहता।
time of the Katha,
इससे क्या समझ में
sleeping,
आता है
eating,
कि यदि
etc.
हम कथा में
is
स्वयं
offense
जाएंगे
towards the
और
Lord.
पांव फैलाकर बैठेंगे तो अगले जन्म में अवश्य बैल
And
बनेंगे।
if we do the same, then definitely we will
तो
become a bull in
अरिष्टासुर
our
का
next
उद्धार
life.
भगवान श्री कृष्ण ने किया। तब तक तो कृष्ण के सखा ने कहा कृष्ण
And
5 बज गए हैं,
his
शाम होने
associate
वाली
told
है
that
और
it's
राधा
5
रानी को
o'clock
आपने टाइम दिया है,
and you have given an
हमारे यहाँ से
appointment to
मिलना है
Srimati
आपको।
Radharani.
अरे बाप
You have to
रे,
go and meet
ये
her.
एक्शन मूवी करते करते लव स्टोरी तो छूट ही गई यार। कोई
While
बात नहीं,
performing
कृष्ण
action, I
जब
forgot
तैयार हो
about
गए और तुरंत
Srimati
अरिष्टासुर
Radharani.
को मारकर वहीं
So he got ready, and after killing Arishtasur, he just straight away went to Srimati Radharani. As usual, when he saw her from far, he started running to embrace her, but Radharani told him to stop at once. She said that don't touch me and forget about touching me. I don't even want to see your face. Krishna said that we were supposed to meet in the morning. We decided, but what is the problem now? Srimati Radharani said that I have heard that you have killed a bull. So he said yes. So he said that Vrishab or a bull belongs to the cow's family, and you have killed someone from the cow family. He said that she was a demon and he was distressing others. Radharani said that no matter what, although he was a demon, but still he belongs to the clan of the cows, and you have killed him. And now you have incurred the sin of killing a cow. And a person who incurs this, I don't want to meet such person. I don't even want to see such person. So Lord Shri Krishna said, okay, he said that, okay, I have sinned. But what can I do to atone this sin? Is there any solution for the same? So Krishna said, is there any atonement or solution for the same? She said, yes, there is one solution, Krishna. He said that on this pious land of Bharatvarsh, there's so many holy places. You need to go to each and every holy place and take the holy dip of the water there, and you can be purified, and then only you can meet me. Before that, before atoning your sin, you should not show me your face. So Krishna said that, okay, that's the only thing that you want. Radharani thought that why he is so happy. This is such a hard task to perform. Yet he is so much happy. That I just need to take a dip in the holy water, so I will do that in front of you. And at that time, Krishna dug a hole with the help of his flute, and he created a deep hole, and he called all the holy places to come as personified and pour their water in that well. So all these holy rivers started manifested. They started praying to Lord Shri Krishna and adding the water from them in the well. And he was signaling to Srimati Radharani. So all the holy places have manifested here. Srimati Radharani saw that, and all the associates were seeing that all the holy places were coming. They were praying to the Lord and pouring the water. So when they filled the court with this water, and Sri Krishna took the dip in the holy water and said that now I have become pure. Now I can meet you, right? So Srimati Radharani said that you have atoned your sin, but now I also have a desire to take a dip in this holy places. So he said that you can. So Krishna said that you can also take the holy dip in this kund. Srimati Radharani said that by taking the dip in this holy water, you have contaminated this water of the kunda because you have killed the bull. So I cannot take a dip in this kund. So I will create another kund for myself and I will take a dip in the same. Krishna said that why you want to work so hard? Whatever belongs to me is yours. But she said the yours is impure. Then Radharani and her friends or associates, what did they do? So Radharani took out her bangle and broke it, and with that she started digging a hole and created a kund. And in Braj, still that kund is there. So now the was a whole. So Krishna said that you can take the water from my kund. It said that the problem is that the water of your kunda is impure. Otherwise, we could have taken the dip in your kund itself. So she said, so how you're going to arrange the water? So she said that I will go to Mansi Ganga and I will bring the pure water from there. When they went there, then Krishna told that why are you standing here? That you want that Srimati Radharani, that you should serve Srimati Radharani, that she is going to Mansi Ganga. So he said, no pain, no gain. So you should go and bow at her lotus feet so that she can use your water. So they all bow down at the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani, that you need not to go to Mansi Ganga. We have given some water to him. We will give some to you as well. You give or bestow your mercy on us. Radharani is mercy personified, so she agreed. And they poured the water in Radha Kund. And that kund was filled. And Srimati Radharani took the holy dip in the same water. And when she was taking the dip, Shyam could not control himself. He was yet wet. He said that I'm already pure. And your desire is also full. So can I enter the kund? So she agreed. And he entered Radha Kund. And the whole night they enjoyed ecstasy in this water. And it happened in this Kartik month. It happened on the 7th day of the Kartik month. That is on the Kartik Ashtami, or it is also called as Bahula Ashtami. On this day, the pastime that you heard was performed. And on this day, Radha Kund and Shyam Kund manifested. And it is said that this day, millions of people gather here, take a dip, and they lit the lamps and decorate the Radha Kund and Shyam Kund with the lamps. In Padma Puran, the glories of Radha Kund and Shyam Kund is mentioned beautifully here in the front of your screen.
कार्तिके च राधा कुण्ड युधिष्ठिरः दृश्यते सकलं विश्वं भृत्य विष्णुपरायणे दीपोत्सवे कार्तिके च कार्तिक महीने की दीपोत्सवे
So, in the month of Kartik, Deepotsave, that means on the day of Deepavali, so the Radhakund and Shyamkund manifested on the Ashtami or the 8th day of the calendar. But it is said on the day of Deepavali, in the month of Kartik, O Yudhishthir, Radha If somebody goes near Radha
दृश्यते
Kund,
सकलम विश्वम,
drishyate sakalam vishwam.
तो राधा कुंड पर खड़े रहकर वह
So,
व्यक्ति
if he
सकल
stands
विश्व,
at the
संपूर्ण
banks of
ब्रह्मांड,
Radha Kund,
संपूर्ण विश्व का दर्शन करता है.
he can see the whole world.
भृत्यर विष्णु परायण है.
Bhratya Vishnu Parayane.
जो एकांतिक भक्त होते हैं, जो कृष्ण के शुद्ध भक्त होते
So,
हैं,
the exalted
श्री
devotees of
राधा
the
कुंड के
Lord,
पास बैठकर सकल विश्व
they
का
sit
दर्शन
near
करते
the
हैं.
Radha
इतना ही
Kund
नहीं,
and
पद्म
see
पुराण
the
में
whole
एक
world.
वर्णन
And
है, गोवर्धन
Padma
गिरो
Puran
रम्य,
further mentions
गिरिराज
Govardhana
गोवर्धन
Giro Ramya,
एक
that
रमणीय स्थान है.
there is a place in Giriraj Govardhan,
गिरिराज गोवर्धन की तलेटी में एक रम्य स्थान है और वो है राधा कुंड.
and that place is Radha
सो
Kund.
गोवर्धन की तलेटी में रमणीय स्थान है, वो है राधा कुंड. और वो राधा कुंड कैसा है?
And
प्रिय
how
हरे,
is
हरि
this
को, कृष्ण
Radha
को
Kund?
बहुत प्रिय
It is
है.
very dear to Lord Shri Krishna.
यथा राधा तथा कुंड. पद्म पुराण
Yatha
में
Radha Tatha
कहा गया
Kunda. In
कि
Bhagavad Puran,
कृष्ण
it
को
is mentioned
जितनी
that
राधा प्रिय है, उतना
as
ही राधा
Radharani
कुंड
is
प्रिय है.
dear to Lord Shri Krishna, similarly the
यदि
Radha Kund is
कार्तिके
also
बहुलाष्टमियां तत्र
similarly
स्नात्वा,
dear to him.
यदि कोई कार्तिक
And
महीने
it
की
is said that
बहुलाष्टमी के दिन,
on the month of
जिस दिन
Kartika
राधा
and
कुंड
Bahula
पवित्र
Ashtami,
हुआ,
on the manifested day of Radha Kund and
कार्तिक
Shyama
महीने की
Kund,
बहुलाष्टमी के दिन तत्र स्नात्वा, यदि कोई इसमें
and
स्नान
if
करेगा
someone takes
तो
the holy
हरे
dip in
प्रिय,
this water,
वो हरि का प्रिय हो
then
जाएगा.
he will become the beloved of Lord Shri Krishna.
क्योंकि राधा कुंड हरि को प्रिय है.
Why? Because
इसलिए
Radha Kund
कहना
is very
चाहिए
dear to Lord
बहुलाष्टमी
Shri
के दिन स्नान
Krishna.
करने से
So we
हरि
should
का
take a
प्रिय
holy
हो
dip
जाता है.
on Kartik
So इस
Ashtami or
प्रकार से
Bahula
बहुत
Ashtami
सुंदर
and become
राधा
beloved
कुंड
of the
की
Lord.
ये मन भावन लीला, मन भावन कथा है.
So this is the pastime of
भगवान श्री
manifestation
कृष्ण
of Radha Kund and
साढ़े
Shyama Kund.
128 वर्ष तक
So Lord Shri Krishna
इस
was
संसार में
here
रहे
in this material universe
और
for
फिर वो अपने
128 and a
धाम
half
में
years, and after that he left
कृष्ण के
for his eternal abode.
द्वारिका से प्रस्थान करने के बाद
And when he left
कृष्ण
Dwarika,
के प्रपौत्र हुए वज्रनाभ.
he had a
तो
great grandson
वज्रनाभ जी
whose name
ब्रज
was
में आए,
Vajranab, who
कृष्ण के
came to
प्रपौत्र
Vraj.
ग्रैंडसन. और वज्रनाभ जी के गुरु थे शांडिल्य ऋषि.
And his
उन्होंने शांडिल्य ऋषि को
spiritual
कहा
master was Chandilya
कृष्ण
Rishi,
की जितनी भी
and he
लीला
said
स्थलियां
that
थी,
all the
उन लीला
pastimes of
स्थलियों का
Lord
सुंदर
Shri
निर्माण
Krishna
करवाया.
should
और
be
उन दिनों वज्रनाभ जी ने
recreated.
राधा
So
कुंड और
Vajranab
राधा कुंड
ji
का भी बहुत सुंदर घाट बनाया और बहुत सुंदर
made
वहां पर
a
उन्होंने
beautiful
विहार किया.
wharf on the banks of Radha Kund and
लेकिन
Shyam
आप सब
Kund.
जानते ही हैं
And as you
कि
are aware,
कालानेह महता योगो नष्ट परंतप, समय बीतते बीतते
as the time
धीरे धीरे
elapsed,
स्ट्रक्चर भी
the
खत्म हो गया.
structures starting
तो
diminishing.
5000 वर्ष के बाद
And after
जब
5,000
श्री
years,
चैतन्य महाप्रभु का समय
when
आया,
Chaitanya
तो
Mahaprabhu's
वज्रनाभ
time
जी के
arrived,
द्वारा बनाया हुआ राधा कुंड श्याम
then
कुंड का वो स्ट्रक्चर लुप्त हो गया.
the structure was made, which was made
श्री
by
चैतन्य
Vaishnav ji,
महाप्रभु
had
कार्तिक
already
महीने की पूर्णिमा के दिन ब्रज में प्रवेश किए. चतुर्दशी को
diminished.
अक्रूर घाट और पूर्णिमा को अक्रूर घाट से वो ब्रज में प्रवेश हुआ. महाप्रभु जब ब्रज में आए
So Mahaprabhu
और
entered
विचरण
Braj,
करते करते श्री चैतन्य
and
महाप्रभु राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड को खोजने
he
लगे.
started searching for Radha
तो
Kund and
खोजते
Shyama
खोजते
Kund,
गोवर्धन की तलेटी में आए और उस
and
समय
he came
कोई
on
राधा
the
कुंड श्याम कुंड के नाम से नहीं जानता था. काली खेत गोरी खेत
Govardhan
दो कुंड थे.
hills,
एक एक काले जैसा था, एक सफेद जैसा था,
and
जिसको
it
काली
was
खेत
called
गोरी खेत
as
कहते थे.
Kalikhet and Gorikhet.
श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु वहां पर पहुंचे और दिव्य
Chaitanya
विमान में आए
Mahaprabhu reached
और
there,
जब नृत्य
and he
कीर्तन
got
करने लगे
the
और श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने अनाउंस किया
ecstatic
कि
symptoms, and he
यही राधा
announced that
कुंड है
this
और
is
यही
Radha
श्याम
Kund and
कुंड
this
है.
is Shyama Kund.
सो इस प्रकार श्री चैतन्य
So
महाप्रभु ने पुनः उत्थान किया.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu
श्री कुंड का
re-established
जिस
Radha
स्थान
Kund
पर
and
बैठकर
Shyama Kund,
महाप्रभु ने अनाउंस किया था,
and
आज
on the
वो
place
स्थान
where he
राधा
announced
कुंड
this,
श्याम
that
कुंड के
place
पास
is
है. तमाल
place
लखनऊ
is near to
यानी
Radha
कि
Kund and Shyama
चैतन्य
Kund,
महाप्रभु की बैठक के नाम से वो
and
स्थान
is
प्रसिद्ध
famous
है.
as the
वहां पर
sitting point
महाप्रभु
of
ने
Chaitanya
बैठकर
Mahaprabhu.
इसे अनाउंस किया था. ये सब याद रखिएगा, आप लोग आ रहे हो ना कार्तिक में.
So you all should remember this because you're coming
श्री
for
चैतन्य महाप्रभु के
to
भाव प्रकट होने के बाद
Vrindavan.
उनके
So
प्रिय
after
भक्त
manifestation, of Radhakund and Shyamkund, his disciple Sri Raghunath Das came to Vrindavan and he started staying near Radhakund and Shyamkund, and he started performing austerity and his devotional service towards the Lord. One day, one king came with his army after defeating another king, and they were really thirsty, and this place was in between in their path, and Raghunath Swami was performing devotional service towards the Lord, and he asked that you can take the water from here. The king and the minister said that this is such, the water is so less, how can they manage from this water? Everybody drank to their heart full, but still the water was eternal. And the king said that this is not an ordinary water, it is something transcendental. So Raghunath Das Goswami used to form unallied devotional service towards the Lord here, and he thought that at least we should have a wharf here, and we should think. And when he contemplated on this, the night and the early morning, so we just have to contemplate, the Lord will accomplish that. But we don't even contemplate well. We just think about how to defame others or to pull them down. But if we have a great thought, the Lord helps us. So Raghunath Das Goswami thought that I want to make a good wharf here. And next morning, a great merchant came from Badrinath and said that I have been sent by Lord Badri Narayan, and said that the purpose of my visit is to take care of making this wharf, and I will take you. You can use whatever money you want to do the same. And thus they started making the wharf, circumambulating the Radhakund. So Radhakund was a beautiful rectangle, but when they were trying to make the wharf in near the Shyamkund, there was a tree they wanted to cut, and there he saw Pandavas in his dream, said that we are performing austerity in the form of trees here, so please don't cut. And still till today these trees are there, and just by passing those trees the wharf was created. So as Radha is straight, so her kund is also straight, but the Lord is not straight, that is why his kund is also not straight. So Pandavas performed their austerity here, and the kund was also established, and thus Raghunath Das Babaji Goswami did it or got it done. So one time Sri Rup Goswami was sitting on the banks of Radhakund and writing a scripture, and at that time he was writing Chatu Pushpanjali, and his elder brother Sanatan Goswami came and said that what are you doing? He said that I'm writing a scripture. He said, Chatu Goswami, he said, just show me. So when he saw in the verse that the hair of Radharani is like serpent. So he wrote that her hair are like serpent. Sanatan Goswami said that I couldn't understand this. How can her hair can be symbolized by a sign of tamogun, that is the mode of ignorance. So she said that let's contemplate, and Sanatan Goswami left. And when he saw that Srimati Radharani was there on the banks of Radhakund and playing with her friends, Sanatan Goswami was shocked, and they went towards her. And when he saw that her hair were appeared to be like a snake, and he realized that, oh, Radhe, you have a snake in your hair. Then he realized that her hair were tied in such a way that it looked like a serpent. And by giving her darshan, he proved to Sanatan Goswami. So the scriptures that we have, where the forms of Radha and Krishna are has been shown, and they manifested in front of our acharyas, and then we got it. So by just seeing the Lord, they have written about them or their forms. So here Raghunath Das Goswami used to sit here for 24 hours and perform devotional service. One day he was chanting the holy names of the Lord, and at that time a big lion with his wife came to drink water. He was performing devotional service, and they drank the water and they went. So Rup Goswami said that today he was saved, but someday he will be killed. So they said that Das Goswami, at least to perform your sadhana, you should make a hermitage. He said that to maintain that cottage also will curtail our devotional service. So Rup Goswami said that it is my desire, and you will be harmed or distressed. So after Sanatan Goswami's repeated request, or rather Das Goswami, that is Raghunath Das Goswami, made a small cottage there, which is still there on the banks of Sri Radha Kund, and we can see them. On the north side, there is the cottage of Raghunath as well. So, as Radharani is dear to Lord Shri Krishna, similarly, the Radha Kund is also loved or dear to Lord Shri Krishna. So if you go and visit Radha Kund, and you have to venerate Radha Kund, as there is a invocation prayer for all these deities, and as you have listened to so much glories of the Radha Kund, then how can we venerate Radha Kund? So it's in Padma Purana it is mentioned that this is the verse to venerate them or her.
Namaste Harimuktidah Namaha Kevala Nathaya Radha Krishna Bidayine. राधा कुंड के विषय में कहते हैं,
So it is said about Sri Radha Kund that Sarva Pap Haris Tirtha, she can atone the sins of all the holy places. This Radha Kund has that potency. And by taking the shelter of Radha Kund, we can attain liberation. And by just taking the shelter of Radha Kund, we can get unalloyed devotional service towards the Lord, that is bhakti. And oh, Radha Kund and Krishna Kund, yes, so much glorious. So we bow down at your lotus feet, or we bow down again and again at your feet. So we have heard the glories of Radha Kund. So Radha Kund and Shyam Kund, Amrish Maharaj is in waiting. So we will listen about his pastimes and how it's connected to Kartik month. We will listen. But before that, we will listen to some information regarding the upcoming programs and events.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. हरे कृष्ण। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद प्रभु जी। बहुत ही सुंदर हम यहाँ पर एसेंस ऑफ दामोदर की कथा श्रवण कर रहे हैं, जिसमें हम सिलेबस वर्ड बाय वर्ड फॉलो कर रहे हैं। और इसी के अंतर्गत कल हमने सुना था कि कैसे डी से जो दामोदर हैं उनकी लीला हमने श्रवण की, और आज ए के ऊपर हमने श्रवण किया कैसे अपीयरेंस ऑफ दामोदर का, अपीयरेंस ऑफ राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड, उसकी महिमा हमने आपके मुखारविंद से श्रवण की। और बहुत ही सुंदर आपने श्लोक से प्रारंभ किया जो कि श्रील रूप गोस्वामी द्वारा रचित है कि वैकुंठ जनित प्रिय, जो सर्वश्रेष्ठ स्थान है। पहले हमने श्रवण किया कि कैसे वह वैकुंठ है, उसके पश्चात बताया कि मथुरा उससे भी श्रेष्ठ है। तत्पश्चात यह श्रवण करने को मिला वह स्थान श्रेष्ठ, वृंदावन सबसे श्रेष्ठ है। एंड देन आफ्टरवर्ड्स वी हर्ड दैट कि गिरिराज गोवर्धन की तलेटी पे जाकर भजन करना ये सर्वोच्च स्थान है। और इसके पश्चात आपने बताया कि कैसे उसी श्लोक में राधा कुंड जो आश्रय लेता है वो सर्वश्रेष्ठ स्थान है इस गोवर्धन परिक्रमा के अंतर्गत जो कि आता है। वह सबसे उचित स्थान है, भजन करने योग्य स्थान है या निवास करने योग्य स्थान है, जो कि हमने आज श्रवण किया। और बहुत ही सुंदर इस बहुलाष्टमी की कथा हमने श्रवण की कि कैसे भगवान कृष्ण ने उस असुर की दमन किया, उनका उद्धार किया, अरिष्ठासुर, और उसको मारने के पश्चात राधा रानी ने भगवान को अस्वीकार करते हुए कहा कि तुमने एक जो गौवंश में जन्मा हुआ है उनका वध किया है, इसलिए तुम अपवित्र हो। इसलिए यदि तुम्हें पवित्र होना है तो तुम्हें पहले समस्त तीर्थों में जाकर स्नान करना चाहिए। भगवान योग योगेश्वर होते हुए समस्त तीर्थों का आह्वान किया और बहुत सुंदर सभी तीर्थ वहीं पर प्रकट हो गए। और उस स्थान में भगवान ने स्नान किया जो कि कृष्ण कुंड से प्रचलित हुआ। सिमिलरली राधा रानी ने भी वहां पर जो कि मानसी गंगा जा रही थी, तो उन समस्त तीर्थों ने राधा रानी को प्रार्थना की और उन्हें स्वीकार करने के लिए कहा, और वही स्थान वहां पर बन गया जो कि राधा कुंड के नाम से प्रचलित हुआ। तो बहुत सुंदर राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की महिमा यहाँ पर हमने सुनी कि कैसे ये सर्वप्रथम तो ये प्रकट हुआ, उनका प्राकट्य हुआ। और आज से ठीक 8 दिन बाद, मतलब ये बहुलाष्टमी जो कि आती है कार्तिक महीने में, उस दिन वहां पर स्नान करने की बहुत महिमा है। हजारों भक्त वहां पर आते हैं और इस दिन राधा कुंड में स्नान करते हैं। सो बहुत सुंदर यह कथा हमने आपके श्रीमुख से सुनी। थैंक यू वेरी मच प्रभु जी फॉर दिस वंडरफुल कथा। इसे श्रवण करने से क्या होता है कि जिस दिन वो तिथि आने वाली है उस दिन हमारे लिए बहुत ही इजी हो जाता है यदि हमने इसे ठीक से श्रवण किया है। यदि फिर जैसे प्रभु जी ने बताया कि भागवत कथा में कैसे बैठना चाहिए, राइट, पैर फैला कर नहीं बैठना चाहिए, पैर के ऊपर पैर रख कर नहीं बैठना चाहिए, सोना नहीं चाहिए, या फिर खाना नहीं चाहिए। तो यदि हम इस प्रकार से इसे श्रवण किए हैं तो प्राय विस्मरण हो जाता है कि कौन सी कथा हमने श्रवण की। तो फिर आपको पुनः स्विच करना चाहिए, मतलब इस कथा को, जिससे कि हम उस दिन की महिमा को याद कर सकें। तो यस, यदि हमने इस आज कथा अच्छे से सुनी है, या हम आपसे ये भी निवेदन करें कि इसे पुनः एक बार सुन लीजिएगा, जिससे कि हम स्थिति को स्मरण करें। और उस दिन यदि हम वहां पर फिजिकली उपस्थित हैं तो हमें जाकर स्नान करना चाहिए वहां से ही, या फिर कलयुग में जैसे कहा गया है कि भगवान के दर्शन आंखों से ज्यादा अधिक कानों से किया जाना चाहिए, जिससे कि हम उनका अधिक फल मिलता है। तो यदि कानों से भी इस प्रकार कथा से श्रवण कर कर स्मरण करें उनका, और उस स्थान में जाकर हम भी है ना उसका लाभ ले सकते हैं। सो बहुत सुंदर कलयुग की ये गुण है कि जहाँ पर हम मन से भी यदि कुछ भगवान को ऑफर करें या फिर मन से भी किस स्थान का चिंतन स्मरण करें, तो उनका पूर्ण लाभ या उनका बहुत ही सुंदर पुण्य फल मिलता है। तो उस स्थान में जाने के लाभ के बराबर है। सो यदि हम जैसे बताएं प्रभु जी कि बहुत सारे भक्त हम लोग जा रहे हैं वृंदावन में नेक्स्ट वीक, बाय द नेक्स्ट वीक हम लोग सब मिलेंगे आने वाली 21 तारीख, यानी तो 21 या 22 तारीख को सब लोग मिलने वाले हैं। तो बहुत सारे भक्त हैं जो कि स्टिल दे आर अनेबल टू कम फॉर सम रीजन, यू नो, उनके लिए यही सबसे उचित है कि वे भी इस कथा को सुने और मन ही मन वे भी वहां पर उस स्थान का स्मरण करें, उस स्थान की जो लीला है उसको स्मरण करें, जिससे कि वे भी उनका लाभ ले सके। तो यहाँ पर जैसे हमने बताया कि कलयुग में मन से भजन करने का भी फल मिलता है। तो यदि हम नहीं जा पाते हैं तो हमें मन ही मन उस दिन की लीला महिमा श्रवण करनी चाहिए और स्मरण करना चाहिए, जिससे कि हमें भी वह लाभ मिले जो कि हम सब जाकर प्राप्त करने वाले हैं, वो आपको घर बैठे हो जाएगा। परंतु इसका अर्थ ये नहीं है कि हमें बस घर पे बैठ कर रहना है। अभी प्रयास करना चाहिए, जब भी अवसर मिले जाना चाहिए, जिससे कि एक रिचार्ज हो सके, रिफ्रेश हो सके। जैसे हम मोबाइल को भी कभी कभी हैंग हो जाता है तो रीसेट कर लेते हैं, राइट, जिससे कि रीबूस्ट कर लेते हैं उसको, जिससे कि वह फिर से ठीक से चलने लगे। तो धाम में जाना इट्स काइंड ऑफ गेटिंग रिचार्ज योरसेल्फ, हम अपने आप को एक रिचार्ज कर लेते हैं। वो क्योंकि पावर पैक मंथ है दामोदर, जिसमें कि धाम में वास करने की महिमा है, तो वह सुंदर अवसर हमें प्राप्त हो जाता है। तो इसीलिए प्रयास करना चाहिए साल में एक बार कम से कम हम भगवान के धाम में जाएं और इस प्रकार धाम का हम लाभ लें, जिससे कि हम फिर से हमारे भौतिक लाइफस्टाइल में जब हम आए तो हम लोग उसको, ये जो रोज की हमारी जो युद्ध हो रहा है हमारे माया के साथ में या फिर स्ट्रगल है, वो थोड़ा इजी लगे, मतलब उसको हम अच्छे से कर सके, सो दैट वी कैन अगेन नेक्स्ट ईयर वी कैन गो एंड रिचार्ज आवरसेल्फ, रीबूस्ट आवरसेल्फ। तो ये बहुत सुंदर दामोदर की महिमा है। यहाँ पर हम प्रभु जी के मुखारविंद से श्रवण कर रहे हैं और इसमें हमने शेष महिमा जो आज श्रवण की, दैट इज अपीयरेंस डे ऑफ राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड, विच विल बी कमिंग इन आने वाले दिनों में वो होगी। तो आप सबसे निवेदन है इस कथा को सुनिए, और जो कि अम्बरीश महाराज की कथा है वो हम पुनः प्रभु जी से निवेदन करें कि सब लोग आपके मुखारविंद से श्रवण करने के लिए ईगर हैं। सो प्लीज इस कथा को श्रवण कराएं। धन्यवाद। हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। सो अम्बरीश महाराज और कार्तिक मास दामोदर
So,
मास का क्या कनेक्शन?
how are Ambrish Maharaj's pastime and Kartik month are connected?
और इसीलिए इस
And there is a beautiful connection. And that is why on this auspicious month of Damodar,
श्रवण करने का विधान है।
there is a principle or regulation to listen about his pastimes.
श्लोकों का आस्वादन करते हुए
So let's
श्री सुखदेव गोस्वामी भागवत
enjoy
के
some of the
स्कंद
verses. Shukdev Goswami in the 9th canto 4th or 5th chapter, he speaks about
अम्बरीश महाराज के विषय में
Ambrish
कहते हैं,
Maharaj
अम्बरीश
and he says
महाभागा है।
he is
साधारण
Mahabhaga.
आदमी नहीं था ये।
He is not an ordinary person.
महाभाग, भाग्यशाली नहीं,
He was not only
महाभाग्यशाली,
fortunate, but he was
very
extremely
fortunate
fortunate.
person।
He was very, very
अच्छा,
fortunate.
अम्बरीश महाराज का महाभाग क्या था?
And what was his great
अनेकों श्लोक
fortune
में बताते हैं।
is described
सबसे
in
पहले
numerous
कहते हैं,
verses.
अम्बरीश
It is said,
महाभाग
first,
सप्तद्वीपवती महिम,
he was the king of
सात
all
द्वीपों
the
वाली
7
धरती,
islands that is the whole earth, which has 7 continents, and he was the king of all these 7 continents. What does it imply? That there were so many other kings, but he was the king of all these kings. He used to rule all these kings. Avyayam cha shriyam labdva. So he had so much opulence. Even if 21 clans want to count, they won't be able to count. He had so much opulence and wealth. The whole wealth belonged to him. Don't think that only people who are worthless become devotee, that who cannot work well or perform business, then they become devotee. It's not like that. You see, Amrish Maharaj was the king of all the 7 continents, and he had the wealth, and it is described about the same that mene ati durlabham pumsam, that means punsa means humans, which is not easily achievable for the humans or mankind. He had all that wealth. So the people of this world who consider that wealth is impossible to attain, he had all this wealth and opulence, yet tat swapnistat, he used to believe it like a dream or falsehood. So people don't have opulence and they dream about the wealth. And he had this wealth and he considered it to be a falsehood or a dream. Swapnasut, like a dream. And the wealth that he had, then a person will go to hellish planet, because if you have such opulence, then a person will become mad with pride. So although he had so much wealth, he considered it to be a falsehood or a dream. And what he used to do? Vasudeve Bhagvati, he used to associate with the devotees and sages of Lord Shri Vasudev. So he had ecstatic love towards the Lord, his devotees and the sages. And he used to consider wealth as stones, and the jewels of this universe are the devotees of the Lord and sages. That's what Amrish Maharaj felt. And when Shukdev ji said this, Parikshit Maharaj asked a question, that such a great king who had so much opulence and wealth, that he had so much opulence, he used to consider not even stone but the but mud, which is useless. So, with such great understanding, how he had this? That was the question asked by Parikshit Maharaj. Then Shukdev Goswami changed the type of verse and he changed and he started singing. He started singing about Ambrish Maharaj, and Shukdev ji said or recited,
मनः कृष्ण पादारविन्दयो वाञ्छन्सि वैकुण्ठ गुणानुवर्णने करो हरेर्मन्दिरमार्जनादिषु करोर हरे मन्दिरमार्जनादिषु श्रुतिं चकारा च्युत सत्कथोदये मुकुन्दलिङ्गा लयदर्शने दृशो तद्भृत्य गात्रा स्पर्शेयङ्गसङ्गमम् घ्राणं च तत्पादसरोजसौरभे घ्राणं च तत्पाद सरोजसौरभे श्रीमत्तुलस्या रसनाभिवन्दने पादो हरे क्षेत्र पदानुसर्पणे शिरो ऋषिकेश पदाभिवन्दने कामं च दास्ये न तु काम्य काम्यया काम्यं च दास्ये न तु काम काम्यया यतोत्तमः श्लोकजनाश्रयारति इतना इतना धन संपत्ति होने के बाद भी इनकी
so although he had so much wealth and opulence, yet he has not lost his mind. And what was the reason behind the same? He was not attached to that wealth. And it is my own experience that I'm sharing with you. I'm not talking about everyone, but some people are different. But usually, a person has the wealth. The more the wealth they have, the more greedy they have. But that is the case of majority people. A person who is not that rich will have a good heart or a great heart. Wealthy people don't have a great heart, but Ambrish had a great heart, although he was so much opulent. And what was the reason? Because he had surrendered or focused his heart on the lotus feet of the Lord. And he used to use his speech to sing the glories of the Lord and his hands to clean the temple of the Lord. He used to use his ear to listen to the pastimes of the Lord. And he used his eyes to see the deities of the Lord. He used his body to embrace the devotees. And he used his nostrils to smell the sandalwood, tulsi, etc. And his tongue to consume the prasadam of the Lord. He used his feet to go to the holy places and the temples of the Lord. And he used his forehead to bow down at the lotus feet of the Lord. And when he had a desire in his heart, that was to fulfill the desire of the Lord. And he had his heart, mind, and soul at the lotus feet of the devotees of the Lord. And because of all these activities, the Lord was extremely satisfied and happy with him. And he was performing another devotional service towards the Lord. So someone asked, we have heard about Amrish Maharaj in detail, but what about his wives? So sometimes it happens that husband is in devotional service, but the wife is not, and vice versa. It is very important to do it together. So he had 1,000 wives. He was a king of the whole island. So it was not a great, small anything for him. So he had 1,000 wives, and it is told about his wives. Shukdev Goswami ji describes
Ariradhishu Krishnam Mahishya Tulyashilya. अमरीश महाराज की पत्नी जो है ना तुल्यशीला. अमरीश
so his wives were like Tulyashilya, means that his wives were even more or like him. The devotional service he used to perform, his wives also used to perform the same. A person who get to tell, who is able to get his wife to perform devotional service, he is addressed with one word. It is mentioned the third word in the second line. He is called as Viro. He is considered to be a brave heart. So this is the philosophy of Shukdev ji. Because even Shivji has failed in that. What about the normal living entities? But great is Amrish Maharaj. So all his wives were also involved in performing devotional service towards the Lord. So what is the connection with Damodar month? Yukta Samvatsara Varam Viro. So this is the 29th verse of the 9th canto and the 4th chapter, Shrimad Bhagavatam, where Amrish Maharaj's character is described. So Amrish Maharaj used to follow the Ekadashi Vrat or the fasting on the 11th day. So this time he, for whole 1 year, he took a vow of fasting. He said that all these Ekadashis I will celebrate in Vrindavan. So people who are staying in Delhi, they can take this vow that we will try to be in Ekadashi. So to whoever I'm telling this, they are listening and understanding. At least on Ekadashi, they should visit Vrindavan. So he took this vow that I will celebrate Ekadashi in Vraj, and he took his wife and he followed this Ekadashi fast. So he not only fasts, but he also makes his wife do the same. But otherwise, you can preach to a whole family, but not our own family members. You want to be hungry, why should I be hungry? But he is addressed as Veer or Braveheart, and it also signifies, although he is so wealthy and he had so much work, Lord, so sometimes we say that we are busy in business, etc. But for some time, we should leave everything and perform devotional service with the Lord. That is courage, or that requires courage. And what he used to do in Ekadashi, you might have heard, and you might have experienced that there might two Ekadashi. So we get confused which Ekadashi we should perform. So it is mentioned here or clarified here. So, so sometimes Ekadashi is joined with Dashmi or sometimes with Dwadashi. So, so the Ekadashi which is attached to Dwadashi, we should perform that one. So he not only respected Ekadashi, but he used to respect Dwadashi even more. So on Ekadashi is the day of our austerity, and Dwadashi is to serve the devotees of the Lord, to offer them food, etc. So Amrish Maharaj took this vow, and for the whole year he performed this Ekadashi Vrat. And after 1 year, this was the last Ekadashi that he had to perform. And when did it fall? You can see in this verse. So ninth canto, 4th chapter, and the 30th verse from Shrimad Bhagavatam.
कार्तिके मासी त्रिरात्रं समुपोषितः स्नात कदाचित् कालिन्द्यां हरिं मधुवनेर्चया। सुखदेव जी कहते हैं 1 महीने तक व्रत किया।
Shukdev ji says that for 1 month he performed this fasting, and the last Ekadashi was when? Vrat Ante Kartike Masi, that was in the month of Kartik. So this Kartik month is going on. So the last Ekadashi of Kartik, he said that was in Vrindavan. And he was not like us. He used to perform austerity of Ekadashi for 3 days, Dashmi, Ekadashi and Dwadashi. From Dashmi he started to be without food and water. So if we eat on Dashmi and then we perform fasting on Ekadashi, we will still have food in our stomach. So he will not eat anything on Dashmi, and on Ekadashi also he will not eat anything. And on Dwadashi, at the time of opening the fast, he will offer the food to the devotees of the Lord, and then he will eat. That was his vow.
और स्नात द्वादशी के दिन कार्तिक महीने में जगे, कदाचित कालिंद्याम, कालिंदी यमुना में स्नान किए।
He took the dip in Kalindi river,
और मधुवन जो है ना, मथुरा
and
मधुवन,
in
मधुवन में हरि का
Mathura
पूजन
Madhuvan
किए।
he venerated the Lord.
और फिर तो बहुत सुंदर भागवत जी में वर्णन है।
And it's beautifully mentioned in
साधु
Bhagavatam.
संतों को बुलाया,
Abhishekam was performed,
गौ माता का दान किया, सबको
and
भोजन
he
कराया,
gave
दान
cows to the
पुण्य हुआ। और
in
जब
charity,
चले
and
गए,
he
तो
gave
महाराज अमरीश स्वयं भोजन के लिए बैठे।
money and
और जैसे ही
prasadam
द्वादशी
to
पार
devotees of the
करने
Lord.
बैठे,
And as he was
तो
about to
साधु
sit to eat,
पूरी दुनिया का फेमस है,
the sadhu,
श्राप
who is
देने
world
में,
famous,
क्रोध करने में,
who
गिनीज बुक ऑफ वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड में जिसका नाम
famous for
वर्ल्ड
cursing
रिकॉर्ड में दर्ज
devotees,
है, ऐसे परम क्रोधी रुद्र
such
अवतार
Rudra avatar, Sri Durvasa Muni reached.
बेचारे अमरीश भोजन करने
At
बैठे
his,
थे,
he
थाली
was
में
about to eat,
और तब तक दुर्वासा ऋषि आए,
and Durvasa Rishi
बोले मैं
came,
स्नान करके आ रहा हूँ, मेरे
and
लिए
he said
भोजन
that
तैयार रखो।
I will just
ठीक है।
come after taking holy dip
अब
in the
अमरीश
water.
महाराज के पारण का समय जा रहा है, पारण की बहुत महिमा है।
So
एक
the time was
नियम
elapsing
नहीं,
for the
पारण
prayer.
कर लेना
There is a
चाहिए,
certain
समय
time
जा
when
रहा
we
था।
should eat, and this
अमरीश
time was
महाराज ने साधु
passing
संतों को
by
पूछा, बताइए
or
कि
elapsing. So
दुर्वासा
he said that,
साधु आ नहीं रहा है और
that
मेरा पारण का
Durvasa
समय क्या
is
करूं?
not yet reached, and the
तब
time for
कुछ लोकल
Parayan
साधु
is
संतों ने कहा, एक
getting
काम करो,
elapsed.
तुम जल पी
So
लो।
people said that you should
जल
drink
के बिना
some
भोजन
water.
माना भी जाता है, नहीं माना
It is
जाता है,
considered to
इसलिए आपका
be
पारण हो
food
जाएगा।
and
और
not as well. So
अमरीश
your
महाराज ने थोड़ा
fast
सा
will be
जल पी
complete.
लिया।
So he just
और
drank some
दुर्वासा ऋषि
water.
आए तो उनको पता
And when
चला कि इसने
Durvasa Rishi
जल,
came,
और
he
जो
realized
चीज
that he
पानी
has
पी ली तो
eaten,
एमा अनु शुद्ध
drank
जल
some
बन
water.
गई क्यों?
So
आप जिसके घर पे
what
भोजन
was the
मेजमान बन के गए,
loss
जरा आधा
if
गिलास
he had
पानी पी,
drank
भोजन
some
भी कर ले
water?
तो हमारा उसमें क्या गया? तुझे थोड़ी कोई मना कर रहा है, लेकिन साधु
He
को
is not
आना
telling you.
चाहिए, क्रोध
But
करने
the
का और
sages
श्राप करने
want
का पॉइंट चाहिए बस।
an
कुछ
opportunity to
लोग तैयार
curse.
होते, बस वो
Some
खोजते रहते
people
हैं
are
कि
always
क्या
ready
मिल जाए कि मैं
that
क्रोध करूं।
we should get something that we should
अब बेचारा थोड़ा सा पानी
become
पिया है
angry.
अमरीश, और वो भी साधु संतों के कहने पर पिया। और
And that too
दुर्वासा
on the
मान
council
गया
of the
है,
sages.
मेरा
And
रिस्पेक्ट किया,
Durvasa lost his
मुझे
control.
कुछ
He said
पूछे
that
बिना जल
I
पी
should
लिया,
not, I was not
और
respected. You
तुरंत
drank water.
अपनी जटा उखाड़े कृत्या को प्रकट
He
किए।
manifested
और
a
वो
कृत्या
कृत्या
from
जैसे
his
अमरीश
hair,
को मारने आई,
and it tried
भगवान
to
का
kill
सुदर्शन
Amrish.
चक्र तो भक्त के सिर पर घूमते रहता है,
Sudarshan,
और
the
तुरंत
disc
सुदर्शन
of
चक्र
the
ने
Lord,
कृत्या को
was
खत्म
there
कर
to
दिया।
protect,
और
and it
दुर्वासा
finished the
ऋषि का
Kritya
पीछा करने
and
लगा। आप देख
started
रहे हैं ना
chasing
सुदर्शन चक्र?
Durvasa Muni. You can see
दुर्वासा
this
ऋषि आगे
discus
आगे,
in the
सुदर्शन
backdrop.
चक्र पीछे पीछे, लोक लोकांतर,
So they were
जहां जहां गए सुदर्शन
running
ने
from
उनका
one
पीछा
place to
किया।
other, but this discus of
अब
the
वो
Lord
आए,
was
शिव
following
जी के
him.
पास गए,
He
बोले
went to
महाराज
his
यहाँ
brother
कोई
Lord
वैष्णव
Shiva,
अपराध किया।
but he said
पिता
that you have
ब्रह्मा को
offended a
बांधे, बोले मैं
Vaishnava. He went to his
ब्रह्मलोक
father
छोड़ूंगा,
Brahma.
मैं कुछ नहीं
He
कर
said
सकता।
that this
तो
Brahmalok will be destroyed. You should leave.
फिर अंत में भगवान विष्णु के पास
Ultimately, he
गए,
went to Lord
भगवान
Vishnu
विष्णु ने
himself,
हाथ जोड़ दिए,
and he
मम
said that
भक्त पराधीन, मैं मेरे भक्त के
I am
अधीन हूँ,
controlled
तूने
by
मेरे
my
भक्त को
devotees.
परेशान किया है,
You have
तुझे
offended
दंड
my
मिलेगा।
devotee, so you will be punished.
दुर्वासा ऋषि ने जब बहुत बहुत कहा,
When
तब
he
भगवान ने
repeatedly
कहा कि तू
requested
मेरे पास
to
आए,
the Lord,
जिसका
he
अपराध
said that
किया है
you
उसकी
should go to
शरण
the
ले ले।
person whom you have offended. You should take that
एक
person's
साल
shelter.
भ्रमण करके,
So after
एक
roaming
साल
for
भ्रमण
one whole
करते करते
year,
वापस
when
दुर्वासा
he
ऋषि
came back
अमरीश महाराज के पास
at the
मथुरा
doorstep
में
of
ब्रज
Amrish,
वृंदावन में आए।
Rish
और अमरीश
Maharaj
महाराज की
in
महानता
Vrindavan,
देखो
and
कि
see the
साधु
glory
बिना
of
खाए
this
पिए घर
king,
से निकला,
that the
अमरीश महाराज
Brahmana
ने
had
अन्न का
gone
एक दाना
without
मुख में नहीं
eating,
डाला कि
so
मेरे
he
घर से
didn't
साधु
even
भूखा
put
चला गया।
a
भले साधु
grain in
साधु
his
एनो
mouth.
लखणे
That
भूख्यो હતો, साधु उसका
although the
वो अपने उससे
sage was
लक्षण नहीं
hungry
दिखते,
because of his own
लेकिन वो साधु तो अपने से
whims
ही
and
भूखा था।
fancy
लेकिन
or
अमरीश
fall,
महाराज की ये
but
महिमा
still
है
Amrish
कि वो
Maharaj
एक साल
was
तक
so
एक
great.
स्थान पर,
He
आज भी
just
मथुरा में
sat there,
अमरीश टीला है,
and there
जिस
is
स्थान
still
पर
this
अमरीश
place
महाराज जो अभी
that is
खड़े हैं
called
ना,
Amrish
उस
Tila,
स्थान
where
पर
he
एक वर्ष
stood,
तक खड़े रहे।
where he stood
वो
there
साधु
for
चला गया,
whole
कब
1 year,
आएगा उसकी
that this
वापसी का
sage
दिन।
has left,
और
and
एक
when
वर्ष
will
के
he
बाद जब
return?
दुर्वासा
And
ऋषि
after
आए,
1 year, when Durvasha
तो
Rishi
अमरीश
came
महाराज ने
back,
प्रणाम किया। अमरीश महाराज
Amrish
ने क्षमा
Maharaj
याचना
bowed
की
down and
कि मुझे माफ कर दीजिए। अरे
apologized to
दुर्वासा
him.
ऋषि अमरीश महाराज को प्रणाम
Durvasa
करता है।
Rishi bowed down at his
तब
feet,
देखो आप, अमरीश महाराज का हाथ ऐसे, अमरीश महाराज कहते हैं कि मैंने
and
सच्चे भाव से
Amrish Maharaj
भक्ति की
says
है,
that if I have performed unalloyed devotional service towards the Lord and have I never been envious to anyone, then you should stop and you should just leave. And he protected Durvasa Muni. The Durvasa Muni who had manifested a kritya to kill Amrish Maharaj, but Amrish Maharaj gave him a second lease of life. When Durvasa Rishi saw this, Durvasa Rishi said, you can read in Bhagvatam, he says, the glories of a devotee of the Lord I have seen with my own eyes. Today, I have seen the glory of magnificence of the devotee of the Lord. So till date, I have just heard about the devotees of the Lord, Hari, but today I have seen with my own eyes the magnificence of the devotee of the Lord. And if it's asked that what did you saw, and Durvasa Muni says that I offended Amrish Maharaj and tried to kill him. Yet, Mangalani Samihase, he is praying for my welfare and he gambled all his austerity and devotional service for me. So this is the sign of servitorship. So if you have got the title of Das by Guru Maharaj or your spiritual master and you still try to be envy of your god brothers and try to bring them down, then you are shaming the word Das. Durvasa saw it from his own eyes and he said that such beloved devotees of the Lord and there is nothing impossible for such devotees of the Lord who are loved or beloved of the Lord. They can achieve anything in this world. They can attain everything from this material world. And if they want, they can even leave everything. That is the glory of the devotee of the Lord. He had the potency to enjoy the whole universe, but he has the will to leave everything behind as well. That is the glory of a devotee of the Lord. So Durvasa Rishi started singing the glories of Amrish Maharaj. Just by hearing the name, a person gets purified. Such Lord servitor, how can I describe his glories? This is what Durvasa Rishi is telling. So Durvasa had a change of heart and he understood the glory of the devotees of the Lord. And thus, singing the glories of the devotee of the Lord, he went. And this pastime of Durvasa and Amrish Maharaj happened on the Kartik Ekadashi. So we are extremely fortunate that the Kartik month has started, and on this month we are listening the pastimes of the Lord, and we have heard about the glories of Radha Kund and Shyam Kund and their manifestation pastime. So tomorrow we will listen something new and we will take advantage of this Kartik month. You all have been listening with so much patience and love. I'm really grateful to all of you and especially want to thank the inhabitants of Australia, Melbourne, Sri Nalini Deo Mataji, who has organized this katha, and the whole Deo family. I thank you all. So let's conclude the second day of this Bhagavatam Katha with Jai Jaikar.
आज श्रीमद् भागवतम महापुराण के श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान के जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की